BCPS pre-kindergarten families. We are so excited to share with you a read aloud of Henny Penny, retold and illustrated by Paul Galdone. After you finish listening to the read aloud of Henny Penny, first we will talk about the story. Then you will see a writing prompt. You can use this writing prompt to respond to the text, and then you can share your written response with your teacher. Finally, you will see a project idea for enrichment. Enjoy! Before we read, let's get ready with a brain smart start.
Hello, pre-kindergarten.
After we read our story, Henny Penny, we will sequence the order in which the characters are introduced in the text to help us to retell story events. The word sequence means to put in order. An example of when we use sequence is when we sing the letters of the alphabet song. If we didn't sing the letters in order, the song would not make sense at all. B, J, R, W, A, F, Q. That doesn't make sense, does it? The same would apply if we did not say numbers in order when counting. Sequence helps us to tell the order in which things occur. During today's story, we will pay close attention to the illustrations to help you to sequence and retell the story. Let's get ready to read.
Henny Penny, retold and illustrated by Paul Galdone. Henny Penny, retold and illustrated by Paul Galdone. One day, Henny Penny was scratching among the leaves, and an acorn fell out of a tree and struck her on the head. "Goodness gracious me," said Henny Penny. "The sky is falling. I must go and tell the king." So she went along, and she went along, and she went along until she met Cocky Locky. "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Where are you going, Henny Penny?" asked Cocky Locky. "Oh," said Henny Penny, "the sky is falling, and I'm going to tell the king." "May I go with you, Henny Penny?" asked Cocky Locky. "Yes, indeed," said Henny Penny. So Henny Penny and Cocky Locky went off to tell the king that the sky was falling. They went along, and they went along, and they went along until they met Ducky Lucky. "Quack, quack, quack. Where are you going, Henny Penny and Cocky Locky?" asked Ducky Lucky. "Oh, we're going to tell the king that the sky is falling," said Henny Penny and Cocky Locky. "May I go with you?" asked Ducky Lucky. "Yes, indeed," said Henny Penny and Cocky Locky. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky went off to tell the king that the sky was falling. They went along, and they went along, and they went along until they met Goosey Lucy. "Honk, honk, honk. Where are you going, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky?" asked Goosey Lucy. "Oh, we are going to tell the king that the sky is falling," said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky. "May I go with you?" asked Goosey Lucy. "Yes, indeed," said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy went off to tell the king that the sky was falling. They went along, and they went along, and they went along until they met Turkey Lurkey. "Gobble, gobble, gobble," said Turkey Lurkey. Where are you going, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy? Oh, we're going to tell the king that the sky is falling, said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy. May I go with you? Asked Turkey Lurkey. Yes, indeed, said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy. So Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey went off to tell the king that the sky was falling. They went along, and they went along, and they went along until they met Foxy Loxy. Where are you going, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey? Asked Foxy Loxy. Oh, we are going to tell the king that the sky is falling, said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey. Aha, said Foxy Loxy, but this isn't the way to the king. Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey, come with me and I'll show you a shortcut to the king's palace. Oh, good, said Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey. They went along, and they went along, and they went along, until they reached Foxy Loxy's cave. In they all went after Foxy Loxy. From that day to this, Turkey Lurkey, Goosey Lucy, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, and Henny Penny have never been seen again. And the king has never been told the sky is falling. But Foxy Loxy and Mrs. Foxy Loxy and their 7 little foxes still remember the fine feast they had that day. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story of Henny Penny, retold and illustrated by Paul Galdone.
I hope you enjoyed our read aloud of Henny Penny. Now let's take some time to talk about our story. First, who were the characters in our story? Take a moment to think about it. That's right, the characters in our story were Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, Turkey Lurkey, and Foxy Loxy. I noticed something about the characters' names. Do you notice anything special about their names? I noticed that they are rhyming words. Let's say the characters' names again. Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, Turkey Lurkey, Foxy Loxy. Next, it's time to retell our story. Remember when I asked you before we began the story to pay close attention to the illustrations so that we could sequence the order of the characters? That's what we're going to do next. We are going to sequence the order in which the characters appeared in the story to help us to retell the story. Let's begin sequencing the story characters. Who was the first character that we met in the story Henny Penny? That's right. Henny Penny was the first character that we met in our story. Remember, Henny Penny got struck on the head by an acorn, and she thought the sky was falling. Remember, she decided she was going to go tell the king that the sky was falling? That's right. Very good. Well, on her way to tell the king that the sky was falling, who was the first animal that Henny Penny met along the way? Take a moment to think. That's right. Very good. Cocky Locky was the animal character that Henny Penny ran into as she was on her way to tell the king that the sky was falling. So Henny Penny and Cocky Locky went along. Who was the next animal character that Henny Penny and Cocky Locky met in the woods? Take a moment to think. Good remembering. That's right. Ducky Lucky was the next animal character that Henny Penny and Cocky Locky met on their way to tell the king that the sky was falling. Now take a moment to think. Who was the next animal character that they met on their way to tell the king that the sky was falling? Way to go! You got it! Goosey Lucy was the next character that Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, and Ducky Lucky met on their way to tell the king that the sky was falling. Now think, think, think. Who is the next animal character that they met on their way when they were telling the king that the sky was falling? That's correct. Turkey Lurkey was the next animal character that Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy met on their way to tell the king that the sky was falling. All right, one more character. Who was the last character that Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey met on their way to tell the king that the sky was falling? Bingo! You got it. That's right, it was Foxy Loxy. Foxy Loxy was the last character that Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Turkey Lurkey met on the way to tell the king that the sky was falling. Way to go! We sequenced our story characters to help us to retell parts of our story. You did it. Now, I have two questions to ask you. I would like for you to find someone in your home that you will be able to talk to with about the two questions I have. Did you find someone? All right, here are my questions. The first question is, why do you think the king was never told the sky was falling? The second question is, if you were Henny Penny, would you have trusted Foxy Loxy? Why or why not? Take a few moments to talk with someone at home. I think the king was never told that the sky was falling because I'm pretty sure that Foxy Loxy and his family ate Henny Penny and her friends for a delicious meal. And I'm not so sure that I would have trusted Foxy Loxy if I was Henny Penny, because when Foxy Loxy said he had a shortcut, he led the animals to a dark cave, and that looked a little suspicious to me. Today's writing prompt for Henny Penny is to draw a picture of your favorite part of the story. Then dictate or write a sentence about the picture. Don't forget to share your work with your teacher. To continue having fun with the story, Henny Penny, have a puppet show. Draw a picture of each character from the story. Cut out the pictures. Attach the pictures to a popsicle stick, straw, or empty toilet paper rolls to create puppets. Use the puppets to retell the story of Henny Penny. Have fun! Until next time, we wish you well, all through the day today, we wish you well.